A supersized sheep who has spent years evading farmers in the King Country will finally get the chop this weekend, where it's hoped she could take out a world record. Suzy, the feral sheep, was captured on a remote bluff near Tekawiti by Amy Ritchie and her colleague Carla Clark, who say she's never been shorn before. Her fleece isn't expected to be as heavy as the infamously woolly Shrek's, but her new owners say the length of her coat may be enough to claim a record. I asked Amy how she and her colleague Carla managed to catch Suzy.
She's a right rogue girl, actually, Suzy. She's been in the back blocks between a few properties, living on mainly some bluffs and bush in the Mapiu region of Tekawiti. And my colleague, or Carla Clark, who's a good friend, she works on the nearby properties, and she's been seeing her a little bit over a wee while now, with no success in getting her in with a team of dogs, and even with another mob of sheep, she's failed to mob up and come in. So she just breaks away to a normal spot and goes back into a hiding spot. So she's proved quite hard to get.
So you're saying a mob of dogs couldn't track her down, but then you and your friend managed to track her down and catch her?
Yeah. Well, it was quite unbelievable, really. Carla's been up a number of times and tried to catch her with failed attempts. So Suzy being Suzy, although she's long in the wool and maybe in the tooth as well, she can move on those feet. So she can cover the ground pretty quickly, even up on the bluff. So it was quite good.
But just run through how you actually detained this sheep.
Yeah, so we're actually just running up the back, getting some fresh air, really. We were just sort of mucking around, taking the dogs for a run. And Carla said, there she is. There's the Shrek sheep, or so called. So Suzy had a name by then. So we managed to leave her out. She was out grazing on the pasture beside the bush, and we managed to come up around the other side of the bluff and sneak up into the same line, into the line where she crosses back into the bush, and we managed to cut her off there. She very quickly realised where we were, and she ran back and actually charged us a couple of times.
Wow. So she didn't go quietly.
No, she knew exactly where she needed to go. I tell you, when you're standing there with a massive bull, and she was quite big on the hoof, so
I imagine there was plenty, as you're saying, she's pretty woolly, so there's plenty of wool to grab onto.
Yes and no. She also had quite a bit of power behind her, so although there's plenty of wool, she was going to take a little bit to slow down too. So she definitely tried to charge us a couple of times. She thought that wasn't going to be a runner, so she turned around, and I think I was puffing more than what she was, to be honest, but we probably chased her between 200 and 300 metres back down, and we thought, wow, we've got her cornered now. And she spun and broke again, and we thought, oh, this is it, she's gone. We've lost her this time, and we probably tracked her for another 300 metres, and sheep, some are quite bad for it. She sat down and sulked, or she played dead. She wasn't puffing, she pretty much just, I was probably walking by this stage, I was that bloody exhausted from running after her, that, she just sat down. So I managed to walk up behind her, and we both secured her there.
Now, you're going to go and take her for shearing. Do you think she's going to comply with that? The theory is that she's never been through this experience before.
Look, Suzy she's a real character. She's been an absolute mission. We've taken her back down to the local wool shed, where they had the wool shed for cover, and she actually prefers that. She's used to being in bush, so having her out in a clean bare paddock, she wasn't feeling safe in there. So we've had her nearer the wool shed. She's been out in the nearest house paddock near the wool shed, and I think yesterday Carla tried to muster her in with 4 failed attempts with another mob of sheep. So, and the 5th time they finally got her in. So, yeah, she's a little bit wild. We don't think she's ever been shorn, never drenched. She hasn't been docked. Yeah, she's got no earmarks. She's a full-on rogue Suzy.
Yeah, she's no Shrek, is she? She's not exactly a pretty ewe.
No, she's not as pretty as Shrek was, unfortunately. No, she's yeah. No, she could do with a bit of a chop and a makeover. I think once she's got the wool off her back, she's going to be something crossed with a deer. She's going to be able to move pretty smartly on her feet. So
yeah, that's right. She's moving fast now. Hey, tell me, you're hoping that she'll get into the Guinness Book of Records. So we had Shrek the sheep, but apparently the record is held by an Australian sheep from Canberra called Chris at the moment. How long has Chris held the record for?
Yeah, I'm not sure with Chris. I mean, we've had a quick look into it. To be honest, we caught Suzy and thought nothing much of it. We thought this is a really cool ewe. We've got good family contacts with the National Sheep and Shearing Museum down in Masterton at the Woolshed, and we thought this is a really good opportunity just to showcase, a pretty feral-looking ewe to those who are interested and to admire a few young and old people. So I think it's a pretty cool thing to do. It's sort of built up from there to maybe look into the world records. So going down that field, we'll see how we go on Sunday, and that'll be the verdict of where to from there. So really quite exciting, actually.
Amy Ritchie, who with her colleague Carla Clark should probably get some award for their sheep catching.